up, everybody? What is good? Welcome to the Damn Dude Podcast.
Damn, dude.
This is episode 92. Damn.
Damn, dude.
And I'm actually re-recording this intro because we just had some crazy serious technical difficulties where my camera battery just kicked the bucket. My recording, as I went to go fix the camera, it started re-recording over itself. So I had double talking going on at the same... Oh, it was a mess. So anyways, welcome to episode 92. This is the Damn Dude Podcast where we have the conversations that need to be had in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude.
Damn, dude.
I'm your host, California Cal, and this show basically is about self-understanding. I've been trying to analyze, what's this show actually about? And ultimately, it has to do with self-understanding. Yeah, we talk business. Yeah, we talk real life. We sort through emotions and feelings and problems and life situations. But it's like, what is that? What that really is we're working through self-understanding. You know what I'm saying? Self-awareness. That's what this show's about. So we're going to go through a few things today. One, I've got to give a speech in a week, and I'm going to kind of practice that with you guys because I figured what better way to practice than to actually fucking practice. You know what I'm saying? I've been kind of walking around thinking in my head, kind of talking to myself, but I don't really like to write shit out like that. I kind of prefer like bullet points, and then off each bullet point, I can go deep into each one. So as long as I can kind of remember that, and I know how to speak in a certain allotted time, then that'll help me be prepared. So I'm going to do that with you guys here, and it should actually be pretty entertaining. I don't like to do shit regular or boring or whatever. You know, everything's always a little unorthodox. I like that. So we're also going to get into the Bone Thugs versus 3-6 Mafia Versuz. You already know it's Bone Thugs all day. Bone Thugs, harmony. For those of you that know me, you know I'm a motherfucking diehard Bone fan. Like, since fucking, what was that, in 5th, 6th grade? Just done, dude. That's my shit, dude. Like, Bone Thugs definitely my favorite musicians. I didn't say rap group, rappers. They're my favorite musicians. We're gonna get into that. That shit was crazy. There was a fight. There's this. There's that. We're gonna break that down a little bit. And also something new that I learned. It took me 36 years to fucking learn, and I'm gonna share that with you guys. It's a pretty big deal, and it has to do with the fact. Notice I said fact. The fact that our feelings and our emotions are not the same thing. They are distinctly very different. Now that's kind of fucking trippy and weird. You might be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I'll explain. Also, gonna get into a little bit of 75 hard. I'm on day 26 and how I'm getting through that with the new diagnosis of fucking having arthritis and all this other shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's fucking get into this shit, you guys. Hope you guys are having a fucking beautiful day. In San Diego, it's fucking bright and sunny. It's really nice out still. And, yeah, man, it's starting to cool down, but it's really nice still. So, anyways, I'm trying to think how to even prepare myself for this. I'm realizing, okay, so let me create some context. So I started going to a business group, and you have to show up to 3 meetings in a row in order to be considered to join, right? Now, each person is voted in, and you're kind of hand selected, and only one person of their field is allowed to be in the group. So what I do is I teach babies how to swim and save their lives in the water. I don't like being called a swim instructor because what I do is way more than that. I straight up teach babies how to save their own lives with their own fucking skills in just a few weeks. And I help adults overcome lifelong fears. If you want to sum it up and just not give a fuck about how I feel about it, just call me a swim teacher. I'll accept it, you know, but I'm not a swim teacher. Watch what a typical swim teacher does. Watch what I do. It's not the same thing, I promise you. So I'm in this group and that's what I do. And I'm the swim guy, I guess, right? So I go and I kind of have to go back and forth and this and that. And I kind of skipped a meeting. And basically on the 3rd meeting, you're supposed to give a speech and they vote on you based on that and your participation and how you showed up and whatever, right? So I had all these issues and blah, 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 blah. So finally I'm back to my 3 in a row, right? So the next time that I show up will be my third consecutive time in a row, and I got to go give this speech. So basically, I got to explain who I am and the business I'm in and, some shit like that. But I'm like, hold on, I don't want to just do that. Like, that sounds boring. You know what I'm saying? Like, that idea alone, I was already like, that sounds whack. So what I figured I'm going to do is I'm going to just tell a fucking story, right? Like, why not? Storytelling is so much cooler than just like factual information. And I feel like if we can tell stories in a way that invoke emotion and make us feel something, then we really got something that can make an impact. Now, I don't ever want to get up and use all this good fucking fear on a shitty speech. I want to use this fear to get up and speak some good shit. So I already know for sure I'm going to be nervous. I already know that like that hot, that shaky is going to happen. There's maybe like 50, 60 people in this group. Maybe 40 to 60. And they're all very successful people. And I go out in the parking lot and I'm like, well, yeah, clearly. And I hear the way they speak and stuff, and they're on another level. And it feels good to be in a room of people that are like, boom, up to where I haven't even peeked over the wall yet. You know what I'm saying? And that's their life that they live. So if I can at least start peeking over that wall, I can start getting over that wall, throw my hat over. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a big fan of that. It's like, throw your hat over the wall before you know how to get over. Why? Throw your keys up on the rock before you climb up. Well, that guarantees that you gotta fucking get up there. And me and my homies would do that sort of shit. I remember I went with my homie Sebastian, who I finally get to fucking see today. Those of you who haven't listened to the episode of Sebastian, I want to say it's episode 17. Go back and listen to it. Absolute fucking fire. Because you have not heard men speak the way that men were speaking in that fucking episode, dude. I promise you. It's some life-changing shit. So, anyways, what was I saying? So, kind of got sidetracked. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of practice introducing this story. So, I'll start off by saying, it's funny because I'm in podcast mode and I've kind of adapted to learn to speak within like an hour's worth of time. So it's kind of funny to have to try and speak for another set amount of time almost, which I think makes giving a speech harder because it's like, did I say this? Did I say that? And it's like oversimplifying or undersimplifying. And it's like painting some crazy picture or not painting a picture at all. So I figure the best way to start telling a story is by tell who you are. So man, I have not practiced this out loud yet. So, you guys, let me know how this sounds and what you would, give me the pick apart. I don't want what's good. I want what's missing from my equation that would make this more powerful. So let's just go like this. I'll just introduce myself. I'll say, what's up, everybody? My name's Calvin. My name is Calvin Tom. I was born and raised in San Diego. I just turned 36 years old. I've got 2 sons, Nathan and Royal, 16 years old and 2 years old. I'm half Chinese, half Norwegian. Like I said, grew up in San Diego, grew up around gangbang culture, grew up around a lot of death and a lot of sadness and a lot of struggle. Growing up, I didn't have much money. I didn't have the best of food. I didn't have the best of clothes. I had hand-me-downs, stuff like that. And the thing is, I don't say all this for sympathy or anything. It's more so to create some context and perspective of where I come from. Now, growing up, I wanted to be a firefighter or a professional dirt bike racer as a little kid. And as I got older, I went to school to become a firefighter. So what kind of pointed me towards that was I enjoyed helping people and I understood the difference between life and death from a young age. When I was a little kid, my little sister, my grandma, and my great aunt, they all passed away within the same month. And I was in first grade when that happened. So that caused me to really become introspective. And I legit stopped talking for a year. And I just went around school and I would just observe. People thought I didn't know how to talk. People thought I was mute. All these different things like that. And it was hard for me because the way that the way people interpreted me was that I was stupid and that I wasn't capable. So the thing was like, in reality, I'm going around looking at people like, dude, you don't even realize you could be dead. You don't even realize you're alive right now. And these are the thoughts I was thinking when I was a little kid. Like, you don't even realize you're having fun. You're just out here willy-nilly, you know? So all of that pain kind of led me to look up to gangbangers. And I started seeing that, well, the reason for that is because they were the only people who had that same sort of look on their face as I did. That like sad, empty pain, don't fuck with me, like I'll fucking kill you, that sort of vibe, you know? And that resonated with me, and that's what I started looking up to. So it was tough growing up because as I grew older, like I said, I was around a lot of death. I had a lot of friends and family members die. When I was 15, my second mom, Dorothy, she passed away. Rest in peace. She was like my second mom. She would give me spanking. She would make me eat my food, you know, the whole thing. Make me sit and eat my vegetables, collard greens, the whole thing. Then from there, that just kind of hardened me even more. Towards the end of high school, I get in a fight. I get kicked out of school. I'm terrible in school. I get accused of murder. I get my house raided. I get put on informal probation, and I'm under police for surveillance for a year. That was really, at that moment was really mind-blowing and eye-opening, because it's like, dude, how can I do this to myself? That's so shameful, man. I almost got killed by the cops. I got tackled. I got a gun put to my forehead by undercover cops. I've been shot at. I've had, you know what I'm saying, just crazy shit. So as I get older, when I'm 20, my two best friends get murdered. And that really started changing life and putting things into perspective. So now at the same time, my two best friends got murdered. My girlfriend of 5.5 years got pregnant by another dude. I got fired from my job. I dropped out of firefighter school. I was 2 months away from being a firefighter. And I broke my skull, neck, and back in an accident. So as I'm laying here with my skull, neck, and back broken in 8 places, all I have to think about is how my girl got cheated on me and got pregnant by another dude. You know, it was all these high school sweetheart plans to get married and all this shit. And then I'm fired from my job, so there's no more money. I drop out of firefighter school. There goes my career. And my two best friends are murdered, and I'm dealing with the pain of that. Rest in peace, Pablo. Rest in peace, John John. So what am I going to do? Life is over. Life's fucked. You know what I mean? Like, really, what else is there to fucking do? I can't fucking go anywhere. I can't even walk anywhere. Like, I wasn't even supposed to be able to walk or talk or be alive after that accident. So that had me just down and out. You know, I healed up. I started going back. I got a regular job, and I started having panic attacks and anxiety attacks so bad that one day I just walked out of my job because they called a mandatory meeting. I freaked out. I couldn't handle it. I started sweating and shaking, and like tears are coming to my eyes, and I just walked off the job, and I never came back. Well, I came back months later to apologize to everybody because we were all cool, but dude, I couldn't take it. And I realized I wasn't doing what I loved. Now, at the same time, I had started my swim company kind of on the side. I had started Fin to Swim. That's the name of my company. Now, as it's going and time's going on, I'm like, dude, I'm training and I'm learning. I'm like, dude, because I want to be a firefighter. So now that that's not really an option anymore, how can I help people? Because I want to be able to serve people. For some reason, I know that that's just what's right in my heart, you know? And that's what I need to dedicate my life to. So being that I know what it's like to lose a child in the family at a young age, and then learning the fact that drowning is the number one cause of death. Drowning is the number one cause of accidental death for children in the world, 5 and under. So that means children accidentally die from drowning more than car accidents, more than electrical, accidents, more than fire in a house, more than car accidents, more than anything. So if that's the case, there's something I can do about this because there's access And it's possible to teach babies as young as 6 months old life-saving skills just through the combination of the proper breath control and the proper body movements. And if you line those things up and you time them correctly, we get the results. Now, with these results, this is where it's really phenomenal, because in just 6 to 8 weeks, I can have pretty much any child completely water safe with the ability to pass a fully clothed skills test. Now, what does that mean? That means if they were ever to accidentally jump in the water, fall in the water, get pushed in the water, they would know how to be able to roll over and float, maintain breath control, hang there, and call for help, or just float until somebody can pick them up. If they're a little bit older, then they would learn to roll over and float, maintain breath control, and when they're ready, turn over and swim to the step. And because of this because the method we teach, which is to swim, float, swim, we have kids as young as like 2, 3 years old swimming all the way back and forth across the pool like Olympic-sized laps, because as soon as they get tired, they just roll over and float. So I realized, hold on a second. The majority of the swim industry takes about 2 to 3 years to accomplish, and they don't even accomplish this, actually. They don't even have a test at the end. It's just this indefinite thing you do forever. Like with us, we're very results driven. With Fin to Swim, we offer the gentle approach to hardcore skills. That's what we do. So even if kids are crying or they're upset about it or whatever, we're still able to get the job done and teach, because breathing is a universal language. And I know for a fact, when we have a child who's crying, whether we've got a good inhale or exhale, guaranteed every single time. So with that information, we're still able to work. You're never going to show up and your kid is unable to learn because they're upset, because they're crying. No, your child can still learn. This is equal opportunity for everybody. Everybody is capable of learning. I have not had one person not be able to learn. I've only had one child claim to be traumatized by the end of this whole thing, and that's because the parents used swim lessons as a punishment. Now, I haven't checked with these people in like 8 years, but that was like the story they put on the kid, you know? Damn, I just realized I shouldn't have said that part. That doesn't sound good for a speech. Anyway, that was a side note. If I say it, I say it. No, fuck it. I'm not going to say it. No, you know what? If I say it, it doesn't matter. I don't know. I didn't like that. Anyway, moving forwards. So, as long as you show up to swim class as a regular swim student, everything will work out and your kids will have fun. So the ideal clients and recommendations for me would be families, adults who are afraid of the water, because I also help adults overcome lifelong fears associated with the water. I didn't learn to swim until I was about 12, 13 years old, and I can actively remember what it's like to be afraid and what it feels like and what the body triggers are that equal fear in the water, as well as what triggers unlock fear in the water. So I highly encourage everybody to come check it out. Now, at the same time, referrals that I can provide to anybody else, and obviously this is always a value exchange. So I want to be able to give more than I receive, honestly. So I speak with a lot of different families, young families, older families, typically a lot of people who live in nicer communities, who are a little bit more affluent families. That's who I more target and work with. I work with everybody, but that's just kind of the most popular group we work with. So with that being said, Fin to Swim produces results faster than any other swim company you will find. And we are here to help. And to be completely honest with you, we really don't care whether you use our service or somebody else's. We want your kids water safe. But understand that what we do is an accelerated program, and you or your children will learn faster real life skills that actually work than anywhere else. So, does anybody have any questions? Boom! Damn, dude. All right, that was okay. That was my speech. like I said, that was the first time ever practicing. So I realized I'm glad I did that, because there was a few parts in all of that where I kind of trailed off, and I put more work into an explanation rather than a point. And I think I need to kind of switch that a little. I don't know. What do you guys think? Give me your feedback on that. Yeah, man, it's like I said, I'm just practicing. And I hope that me practicing that shows real vulnerability, because that's just off the dome, dude. That's hard. It's really hard. If somebody tells you talk for 10 minutes about yourself and your business, it's like 5 minutes is easy because it runs out quick. 10 minutes is easy to say too much stuff generally without details and then go off on a tangent of a random detail. That's the trap of a 10-minute thing. And you know, when I was going to start this podcast, I was going to do 5 or 10-minute podcasts. It was like 15, actually. Sorry, not 5. Like 10 to 15-minute podcasts, because there's 2 types of podcasts in general, short or long form. And short form is 10, 15 minutes, up to 30 minutes. Long form is 30 minutes plus. We're doing long form podcasts because the way I figured is with long form podcasts, you have like, let's say if you did an hour, you have at least 6 10-minute clips. So 6 10-minute clips is way more to work with than 1 15-minute clip. You know what I'm saying? You got more chances of something good landing. And I realized for myself, because I was practicing, I would record for 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, I didn't even start talking about the point. Like, fuck, you know, it kind of takes me a while to like warm the car up, I guess. and just kind of in general, I'm a very it takes me a long time to warm up to people. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm changing that story, because I realized I can just jump up and start talking, which is something I didn't realize I knew how to do. Right?
Damn, dude.
Because like I said, people would judge me as mute and stupid because I didn't know how to talk. So like, now that I actually can just get up and talk, and I even got called exuberant the last time I got up and spoke in front of people. Somebody was like, wow, he's so exuberant. And I had to look it up because I didn't even know what that meant. All I could think of was that Snoop Dogg song, X to the Z, Mr. Exuberant, exciting, X-a-lotta, XO with a little bit of ecstasy. Like, that's all I could think of, you know? And that shit had me cracking up, dude. Because I'm like, what the fuck is exuberant? And I almost forgot already, so I'm going to look it up again. Filled with or characterized by a lively energy and excitement. Okay. Being exuberant, very lively, happy, or energetic, filled with energy and enthusiasm, existing in large amounts, very plentiful. What the heck? Dude, that's cool. All right, I'll fuck with that. Hell yeah. And that's crazy because, like I said, somebody who's judged as mute to be considered exuberant through my speech, that's pretty mind-blowing to me, dude. Yeah, so I just see new things possible to where, dude, if I can get up and talk and I could do this and really deliver a powerful speech, that kind of fulfills on the other part of public speaking. I realize because public speaking's so scary, I love it. And any opportunity I get, I'll jump up in front of people and talk. Whether it's a funeral, a fucking seminar, a fucking whatever. And I don't know why I do this, but I do. I feel like I have to. It's so scary, I have to. So, yeah, dude, that's a trip. We're gonna take a quick break. I hope this camera battery holds up long enough because this shit's all wacky. My son lost my main memory card and battery pack and charger that I use to normally record the show. So I'm all on backup equipment right now. And I can't find it fucking anywhere. Like, my house is tiny and I cannot find the shit anywhere. So we'll see, guys. 1 second, much love. We'll be right bicycle.
Damn, dude.
What up, everybody? What is good? We bike. We are having more technical difficulties than we probably... No, there's been one other time we've had this many technical difficulties. Otherwise, holy fuck, dude. This is driving me crazy right now. So, moving on. Next order of business. As long as all the shit will stay fucking recording for the time being. Yo, that fucking Bone Thugs versus 3-6 Mafia versus battle, that shit was crazy.
Damn, dude.
Yo, I'm gonna say that, dude, that shit had me emotional, bro. Like, I was like, no, yes, no, oh, yes, no, oh. Dude, that was dude, I was just like, it had me fucking hyped. It had me ready to cry. It had me like, no, you fucked it up. No, oh, this and that. Dude, so the biggest thing that everybody's talking about is the fight when Bizzy threw a fucking water bottle at those fools. When he's like, now you ugly motherfuckers ain't finna be mocking me up while I'm up here on stage performing. And then, dude, and then he fucking, but what happens is you hear Juicy J go, suck my dick. And as soon as that comes out, like, there's trash talking words that you're allowed, especially in the streets. It's like, you don't SMD at another dude. You don't say that shit. Like, you're 100% asking for a fight if you say that. That's off limits. Now, there's ways to clown on each other back and forth all day long, but that's crossing the line. So I heard Bizzy talking, and Fat Joe, if you guys are interested in this, go peep the Fat Joe interview and wrap up of the verses, because he's made the most sense of the whole thing, and his perspective on it is really dope. I'm not the hugest Fat Joe fan of his talks and this and that, but sometimes he's so on the money, it's crazy. And this one, he really was. So he's like, he interviews Bizzy after the whole thing, and basically Bizzy's like, dude, look, I was sick. I was trying to save my voice. And if you watch Bizzy's performance, they're absolutely legendary. There's almost nobody who performs live better than Bizzy Bone. I promise you. Go look it up. It's insane. Like, he sounds exactly like the record sounds. It's crazy. But he has to spare his voice in order to do this because it's nuts. So his whole thing was, he was like, yo, look, I'm up here just trying to talk shit back and forth. He was like, at the most, when I said, you ugly motherfuckers ain't finna be up here mocking me on stage, he's like, I wasn't having a tantrum. I wasn't having a meltdown. He's like, I was just talking shit. He's like, the thing was, I wanted to talk a gang of shit the whole time, but I really needed to preserve my voice. He's like, and I was just staying in character, man. Like, that's what I was doing. I was in performance mode. So he's like, me talking my shit was just part of the performance. It wasn't me losing my shit. He was like, it was just banter, it's friendly banter. He was like, when I said, you ugly motherfuckers ain't finna be mocking me, he was like, yo, what I expected back was like, shut the fuck up, or, hey, fuck you, something like that. Then I could have been like, oh, all right, fuck you, blah, 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 and then get into the show. He's like, but what happened was, he said, suck my dick. And as soon as that happens, nah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm a pretty fucking peaceful dude. But if we're like performing, we're doing this and we're having banter and you say that, you step the line. Like, you know what I'm saying? You deserve to have a water bottle thrown at you. Like, you can't cross that line. There's certain things in shit talking, you can't cross that line. You know what I'm saying? So when you cross that line, that's when it's like, yo, look, I'm really from the street, bro. Like, I don't care if we're on stage. Don't talk to me like that. So that's where Bizzy Bone took the high road, and he came back and he's apologizing. He's like, look, yeah, I apologize. It was the right thing to do. And at the same time, I wasn't wrong. I would go back and do that again. It was just banter. It was just talking shit. But they took it as like I was personally offended and I'm like spazzing out. Nah, that's not the case. He's like, it was a battle. We were talking shit, And people took it as he took it so seriously. But that's the thing, is he didn't. After the whole thing, he's not milking it for ratings. He's not milking it. You don't see him playing it up and all this. He's like, and he posted that. He's like, yo, like, you don't see me milking this. I'm just fucking doing me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was tight because that was appropriate, Then a bunch of people are saying, yo, Krayzie Bone's a punk. He bitched out, this and that. But if you watch the video and you take your fucking feelings, your emotions out of it, Krayzie Bone's my favorite rapper of all time. My favorite musician, I will say. Now, he was already walking away, and he didn't even know what Bizzy was saying because it was unscripted, So you see him, he's walking away to the back DJ booth already, and then that's when the shit talking happens, and then shit cracks off. So it's like, fair enough if somebody throws a water bottle at you, especially if he chucks that shit at Gangsta Boo, and she's like she's talking mad shit. I think this whole thing actually falls on her from 3 6 Mafia. She was the one talking shit, like real, like, yo, fuck you type of shit. Oh, you off your pills, you're drunk, this and that. And that's not the case, because you can see and hear, if you followed Bizzy's timeline, he was really fucking clear-minded. Like, he don't fuck around like that. Not these days, anyway. He showed up to enough shows drunk and blacked out and all this to where he fucked up enough things to where he's learned, you know, and you can really tell, and it shows, it reflects in his diet, his work ethic, his, his exercise habits, all of that. So, like I said, this goes deep for me because Bone Thugs and 3 6 are two of my favorite groups. Well, Bone Thugs is for sure, 3 6 is up there. And dude, to me, this was my whole childhood, my whole, like, what I thought was cool just on the line for this, you know? I was so sad I couldn't go to the show. At the same time, I'm not fucking with the whole fucking mandates and this and that. I'm not playing that game. So I was just like, you know what? It's all good. Yeah, it fell on my birthday, December 2nd, and that was cool. You know, I just kicked back. I did my own thing. It was pretty dope. But it was a good show. A lot of people are like, yo, that was the best Versuz ever. And if you don't follow the Versuz, it was like they had DMX versus Snoop Dogg. They had Dipset versus the Locks. Locks fucking smashed those fools. And then, it's like there's a bunch of them. So this was the best for sure. It was the most entertaining. It was my favorite musicians. It was just so dope. So this shit really had me in my emotions, like I was just up and down and up and down and up and down. And it's funny because I had, documented in my head, yo, I was in my feelings. But that leads me to the next thing, which is, this is crazy valuable. In English language, because of the way that it's structured, we have something really weird that happened, and it took me 36 years to fucking learn this, which is that, or to even hear this, which is that feelings and emotions are two completely different things. Let me say that again. Your feelings and your emotions, our feelings, our emotions, my feelings, my emotions. Our feelings and our emotions are completely different from each other. Now you might be like, nah, what the fuck, you're wrong. Hold on. This is pretty fucking, I learned this from really smart people, so I'm just relaying what I learned. And it makes sense, common sense. It makes logical sense, and it's been scientifically proven too. So think about this. Your emotions versus your feelings. Let's say you feel hungry. That's not an emotion. Feeling hungry is not an emotion. Now, you might start having certain emotions after you feel hungry. You might start getting upset or cranky or this or that or whatever. But the thing is, that's distinctly different from how you feel. So let's put this in a few other ways. Let's say you feel hurt. What does that mean? You physically hurt? Or are you thinking about stuff? Like, let's say it's weird because it's like, tell me how you feel. And we start talking about emotions. But emotions are not how we feel. That's how we emote. You know what I'm saying? Those are emotions are emotions and feelings are feelings. So think about this. I feel sad. How do you feel sad? What does feeling sad feel like? What does feeling depressed feel like? What does feeling angry feel like? If that's a valid question, then that automatically means that you can't and don't feel angry. You have the emotion of anger. We have the emotion of sadness. We have the emotion of depression. Emotions are different from feelings because oftentimes if you were to feel sad or depressed or lonely or whatever, you don't. That's just the emotion. But how do you actually feel? Well, oftentimes it's, I'm taking shallow breaths. My head is spinning. My shoulders feel, like my body feels weak. My legs feel heavy. Whatever you actually feel like is how you feel. And what your emotion about it is the emotion about it. So this is what's kind of trippy is that we collapse them in just kind of in general because of the wording of our language. Oh, how you feel? Oh, that's how you feel? No. That's the emotion that exists. but how I feel is this. This is what I'm thinking. Like, what we're thinking and how we feel are two different things. Our emotions, what we're thinking and how we feel, are three different things. So if you feel sad, then that means you identify as an emotion. How can your whole body identify as an emotion? That doesn't make sense, because your whole body has to remain a human being despite the emotions. So it's so trippy. Like, yo, emotions and feelings are not the same thing. So I think if we can bring awareness to, yo, this is the emotion of it versus, yo, this is how I'm feeling about it, that then gives us a better understanding and a broader sense of either how we feel or what the emotion is, because they're definitely different. So I look at this and I'm like, well, hold on. Oftentimes, if I'm feeling a certain way, the emotion attaches to that feeling and I identify them as the same thing. Rather, if I am aware that I'm feeling a certain type of way, I can then do something that makes me feel different, which will then, the emotion has to change because I feel different. And I feel like when we can see, this is trippy too, because if I have this correct, then it is scientifically and factually proven that emotions happen before feelings. Yeah, that's correct. Emotions happen before feelings. Wait. No. Feelings happen. No, that's wrong. Feelings happen before emotions. So think about this. I feel hungry. What does that mean? Well, it means that your stomach went, and then your brain went, oh shit, I'm hungry. And then your body's like, oh yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't have as much power as I don't have as much energy as I want or I would like right now. So that's the feeling. Then what happens? The emotion. So, and this is factual also, is that the feelings happen before the emotions. Now, oftentimes, the feeling, it may not be that big or triggering, and it's the emotion that triggers first. Oh, I'm grouchy. I'm hangry. Well, there was a lot of feelings that we skipped over before we got to that point. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, dude.
And that goes a lot of different ways, where if we really break it down, the feeling happens and then the emotion happens. So this is why I think it's so important that we participate in different activities and different sports and different ways to ground ourselves and different things like that, where we just physically do different stuff often. That is a way to be in charge of our emotions, or to be in charge of our emotional state. Because oftentimes when people feel depressed, no, you can't feel depressed. Depression is not a feeling. It's an emotion, which we tie to a feeling. You know what I'm saying? This is factual. So if that's the case, then that means we kind of, to a degree, have control over our emotions by putting ourselves in different places that allow us to feel different things outside of the emotion that we already had. And when we feel different things, then we can then emote different things. You know what I'm saying? It's like feelings change everything. Like, let's say you felt great. You fucking woke up, you had the perfect cup of coffee, and you stepped outside and somebody punched you in the face. No reason. It bypasses your emotions, and you just physically feel the feeling of getting punched in the face. That's going to cause a whole bunch of emotions. Now, let's say at the same time, same scenario, you walk outside and somebody comes up and is like, wow, you are a beautiful human. I appreciate you. Can I give you a hug? Can I shake your hand? Can I give you $10? Like, I really appreciate you. That will make you feel some type of way, which will then make your emotions feel some type of way. So it's pretty fascinating that the feelings happen, then the emotions happen, and that is a factual thing that happens every single time.
Damn, dude. Damn, dude.
That's crazy, dude. So this is why I believe that when I feel what I consider the feeling of scared, which is really the feeling of scared. See, I realize that that's kind of a BS statement already, which I just deconstructed, right? But I'm saying when I enter that zone that way, my feelings, shit, what was I gonna say? Fuck, I like completely just spaced, dude. I don't know, dude. Fuck, I really lost that one. Whatever. You guys know how the show goes. If we forget, we let it go. And if it's meant to come back, it'll come back. Or if it was really like, you're like, no, I needed to hear that, then message me and I'll answer it. With the like getting a hug thing, right? Yeah, so if we can be in charge of how we feel, then we can be in charge of how we think and how the emotions seemingly feel, right? Because I think that we think we feel emotions, but really we feel feelings and we emote emotions. That's a trip, dude. Like, because that is the fact of it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I know what I was saying. See? The butterfly feeling. So for me, when I feel scared or whatever, or something like that, I feel my stomach start like getting butterflies. My head starts getting kind of like light and woozy feeling and airy. And then my hands get sweaty. Like my palms get sweaty. And then sometimes my head or armpits feel hot. And that's what I feel when I, quote, feel scared. So I think that what I've practiced doing is like whatever the fuck scares me, that's what I'm gonna go do, because that will then change my emotion about it. If I'm supposed to give a speech and I back out of it, my emotions are like, woo, thank God we didn't do that. Then every day that goes forward and I don't give a speech, that the negative reinforcement of the emotion of, oh, thank goodness you didn't have to do that, keeps reinforcing itself. Then I become less and less and less and less of a risk taker every day, whether that be financial risk or fucking emotional risk or, physical risk or whatever it may be. So I think that it's very important to lean into what we think we're afraid of. Like, what scares us? What am I afraid of? Oh, what does this feel like? You know, oftentimes our emotions are just scared of the feeling of nervousness.
Damn, dude.
Damn, that was pretty good. Our feelings are afraid of our emotions are afraid of the feelings of nervousness. And we oftentimes just can't handle it and would rather shy away from the situation than to stand up, man or woman up, and power the fuck through it. Because otherwise, we're just going to fall victim to our feelings of the thoughts of emotions. You know what I'm saying? Being scared of the feeling of a thought of an emotion is pretty fucking lame. You know what I mean? Especially if you now understand that. So I got to keep doing stuff that scares me. And I know there's certain things I shy away from or I get nervous or this or that. And I'm like, no, you know what? Fuck it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. And that's what I try to lean into. So that is exactly why I took on starting 75 hard. Dude, I was so fucking scared to start because it's like a big thing. I'm like, damn, I actually got to like get off my bullshit and for reals do this. Like, if this is going to work, I have to really do it. You know what I mean? I can't not. So I'm on day 26 of 75 hard today. And it's a trip, dude, because I keep expecting better physical results. But the thing is, I keep having to remind myself I'm fucking injured as shit. Like, I hurt my back and neck in a car accident. I got fucking diagnosed with arthritis in my wrist. If you can see on the video, my wrist is all swollen. Like, I didn't realize that was a thing. And by the way, for those of you, take care of your body. Like, use the fuck out of it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, take the proper steps and care to maintain it and, you know, stay taking good supplements and all that cool, the cool old guy shit that we really need and is important. That stuff really is important because I was 35 and I got fucking arthritis. I just turned 36 and I'm like, how the fuck did I get arthritis? But I realized it's not really any mystery. the physicalness of it. I used to do thousands of push-ups at a time when I was a kid. No joke. I would do like 2,000 push-ups in one sitting or one set or whatever, I guess. And I was literally doing thousands of push-ups every day, and that caused my wrists to fuse. So like my wrists don't bend back. They don't bend really, like very, very little. And I've broken 64 bones. I've broken my wrists quite a few times and my pinkies and stuff. So because my pinky on my left hand's all like squiggly, it caused weird joint pain throughout my wrist and all this other stuff. And it just kind of like jacked everything up. You know, it is what it is. I got to go get some more like glucosamine and turmeric and all that sorts of stuff. And this other thing that's like the new hybrid version of glucosamine, shit worked really well for my knees. But I need that for my wrist now. So I'm going to keep doing like cold therapy, keep freezing the shit out of my wrist. And I think that, I think I can get it back, and I think I can undo this. Yeah, man, there's always ways. And if I can't, I'm going back to the fucking jungle, and I'm going to work with the shamans again, and I'm going to heal this shit. I'm going to do that anyways, but, you know, maybe that'll be some incentive to do so. So, dude, it's fucking crazy. Let me do some math real quick. Well, let my calculator do some math real quick. 26 plus. No, I'm on day 27, bro. What am I talking about? Not day 26. I'm on day 27 of 75 hard. And so let's see real quick. Ouch. 38 plus 7. 65 days today. So my 75 hard turned into 112 hard. And so I'm 65 days in today. If we count my original mess up plus the days, because I didn't take a time off. I accidentally took a bite of a corner of a wonton chip and I reset myself. My integrity just wouldn't let it go, dude. It just was like, motherfucker, come on. So I was like, shit. So I had to honor that. So I'm 65 days in, but I'm going on day 27. And it's a fucking trip, dude. I feel my resistance. I feel like my old hardwiring kind of like yanking old lines and putting new ones in. And it's like I'm like uprooting all my shit and habits and all this and like reinstating them. And today I had a weird moment of like old me versus new me, where I woke up. Old me could not get up. I would always sleep until like noon or 2 or 3, maybe even 4 p.m., on my days off. Or if I didn't, if let's say I worked at 3, I would sleep all the way till 2:30 or 2 and then fucking rush to get ready and go to work. And I'm just being real. That's how I used to do shit. So now, I mean, like I've evolved a lot from there, but I still have little like moments where I'm like that, right? So this morning, or over this whole last week, like my sleep schedule was all jacked up. I was doing 75 hard late as fuck. I'm doing my workouts, drinking hella water, reading. Literally, I had to set alarms because I was reading so late that I was having trouble staying up. I set alarms every 5 minutes for an hour or until I could finish my reading. And I was reading, passing out. Bing! Oh, shit. All right, keep reading. I'm passing out. Oh, shit. Reading. So I did that, and then I recapped the whole thing. I was like, all right. I was falling asleep the whole time, but I got it. And then I went the next morning. I kind of flipped through it all. I was like, oh, I actually do remember all this. I got it. So that was really interesting. But I'm like, yo, I'm doing whatever the fuck it takes to make sure this shit gets done, dude, because I'm not trying to fuck around, dude. It sucks having to drink like the rest of your gallon late the fuck at night, or read or go or fucking finish a gallon of water, go run for 45 minutes at midnight, and then come back, read 10 pages of a fucking fat ass Tony Robbins book, and then go shower, and then try and have some relaxed time, smoke a bowl, kick back, relax. It's like fucking 2:30 in the morning. Like, bro, you need to sleep because you got to be up in like 5 hours. I'm like, fuck. So I feel myself going in and out of like, no, you need to rest, you need to catch up, versus, nah, that's just kind of some bullshit story that I'm telling myself. So I'm finding that happy medium of like, all right, I need to let myself rest this much longer, but not that much longer. So I'm really seeing how I can allotting chill time versus allotting work time is something I struggle with because my work is so fun and this and that like it all merges into one thing. And then I tend to ignore responsibilities of the stuff that's not so fun. And that causes me to not be able to do the fun parts of my job. So it's like a big fucking cycle that I do my best to grow awareness of, step out of, and use that energy of the cycle to move forward, grow, learn, and do good. So, yeah. And shout out to the homie Zarian. Shout out to my son Nathan. They are also doing 75 hard along with me. I appreciate you guys fucking showing up and showing out and doing the damn thing, taking this shit seriously, because this is going to make motherfuckers better. This is going to make our lives better, your kids' lives better, your brothers' lives better, your sisters' lives better, your moms, your dads, your uncles, your cousins, everybody's life better when we wake up to the reality of the power of us, motherfucker. So, you know what I'm saying? For reals, though. Yeah, man. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Make sure you go tell a friend to tell a friend. Go share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We do not charge a fucking thing. We don't even waste your time with commercials or fucking bullshit, this or that. We give it to you real and raw. And, you know, if you got value out of this, go share. If not, then don't. But at the same time, it's a pretty fucking good show. So we would appreciate it if you go share and tell somebody. Show and tell time, folks. So on that note, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. We are creeping up on 3K downloads. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I'm pretty sure once this one drops, give it a day and we'll hit 3K and you'll see the post. Appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Yeah, much love. Peace. Oops, wrong soundboard clip. Oops.
Damn, dude.